Adonai Eloheinu, haser me'aleinu oyev, dever, v'cherev, v'ra'av, v'yagon, u'v'tzel kenafecha tastirenu. Adonai our God, defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings, for this has been a bloody week in America. Adonai, we live in a country awash in guns. Our country, this haven for the persecuted, in which, on average, 321 people are shot each day. So far this year, there have been 201 mass shootings in America, and it is only May. Last weekend was horrendous. On Saturday, in Millennium Park in Chicago, a 17-year-old shot a 16-year-old. In Columbus, Ohio, an 8-year-old girl was shot. Closer to home, here in California, in Laguna Woods, congregants at Geneva Presbyterian Church were honoring a former pastor on Sunday when a gunman opened fire, killing one person and wounding 5 others. Reportedly, the shooter had glued and nailed the church's doors shut before he began his rampage. And then, there was the mass shooting in Buffalo. A congregant sent me a video clip that you might have seen. In it, Garnell Whitfield, a former fire commissioner in Buffalo whose mother, Ruth, was murdered in the racist mass shooting at the Tops International supermarket last Shabbat. With tears streaming down his face, Mr. Whitfield voiced his community's frustrations. We're not just hurting, he said. We're angry. We're mad. This shouldn't have happened. We do our best to be good citizens, to be good people. We believe in God. We treat people with decency. And we love even our enemies. You expect us to keep doing this over and over again. Forgive and forget, while the people we elect and trust in offices around this country do their best not to protect us, not to consider us equal. It is heartbreaking to watch Garnell Whitfield's suffering, his yagon, his sorrow. And he is right. It should not have happened. Authorities missed many red flags. Why were Peyton Gendron's online postings ignored? How was he able to buy an assault-style weapon, despite having been held for a mental health evaluation last year after making a threatening remark at his high school? And now, Buffalo is added to the ever-growing list of towns that have become metonyms for mass shootings. Columbine, Aurora, Newtown, Las Vegas, Orlando, El Paso, Charleston, Pittsburgh. In each place, the individual lives lost, the grieving families, each sacred life obscured by grim tallies. 13, 12, 27, 58, 49, 23, 9, 10. 10 Black Americans murdered in Buffalo on May 14th. 10. The number is resonant for us as Jews. 10 individuals create a minyan, a representation of a Jewish community. The 10 Black victims of the shooting last Shabbat represented community, a former police officer, a deacon, a caregiver, a father of 6, an activist. Buffalo is far away. And, as is usual, about 48 hours after this mass shooting, the world began to move on. But we remain connected to the grieving community of East Buffalo. We are connected through our compassion for victims of violence in this country. We are connected, too, because of our shared plight as victims of hate crimes. In 2020, of the 8,052 reported hate crime incidents that year, 65% were based on race, ethnicity, or ancestry bias. Within that category, Black Americans made up more than half of the victims. And, as we all know too well, during the past 3 years, Jews are consistently the most targeted religious group in America. Anti-Semitism fuels white nationalism and its anti-Black racism. We are connected to Black families devastated by racist violence. Peyton Gendron connects us. Robert Bowers connects us. Dylan Roof connects us. All 3 shooters, inspired by Great Replacement theory, this insidious conspiracy theory laced with anti-Semitism. Our security as Jews is inextricably linked to the safety of Blacks in our country. The shooting in Buffalo is a deadly reminder of the dangers of white supremacy, which has moved from the fringes of our society to its center. And although we may feel helpless to confront the wave of violent hatred engulfing our country, Jonathan Greenblatt of the ADL reminds us of what we must do. We need to call out these hateful views at every opportunity. We need our elected leaders at all levels to have the political will to pass meaningful legislation that will hold anyone involved in spreading white supremacist conspiracy theories to account. We need to support even stricter gun control laws in California and a federal ban on the sale of assault weapons. In an emotional speech this past Tuesday, President Biden declared, "In America, evil will not win, hate will not prevail. White supremacy will not have the last word. Hate will not prevail in America only if we, as our high holiday Machzor reminds us, if we are advocates for justice, activists for liberty, and defenders of dignity." On this Shabbat, may we recommit ourselves to this challenging work so that one day our country will be a haven for all who dwell within its borders, a shelter in which we all may lie down in peace and each day be raised up to life renewed. Join with us in these words of Hashkivenu on page